more than Morgan Scott even in the conference. Really getting the start here for the Oregon Ducks today here in the region.
Kelleher climbs in. Sokolsky comes home. And a three-hopper over to short. Paige Sinicki, the co-defensive player of the year in the Pac-12. One pitch, one away. What do you like about Elise Sokolsky and what she brings to the circle tonight?
Sokolsky's going to throw low mid-60s. She's going to work all quadrants, which is going to be really valuable to her as a pitcher, going up, down, left, and right in the zone. She's going to throw that change on any count as well. So being able to mix speeds and hit all parts of the zone is really going to keep Boston University guessing. They're going to have to pick one part of the plate and look to attack.
First pitch strike delivered to Kayla Ronson, starting shortstop for BU. It's a senior-laden roster for the Terriers from Beantown. 0-2 the count. Sokolsky did get the start against Utah in the Pac-12 tournament. It was one and done for the Ducks, as you see Ronson, the senior, hitting .384 this campaign. First team All-Patriot League. Hit sharply again. Sinicki gobbles it up over to first for out number 2.
And so far you've seen 2 hitters here for Boston University that have looked to hit early on in the count against Sokolsky. I think kind of a smart decision here for the Terriers right to start off the game. Look to attack early on in the count. Look to drive pitches that might be your best pitches that you're going to see on the count against Sokolsky.
Here's Caitlin Coker. And a first pitch, a three-hopper. It sneaks through into center field. BU with its first hit of the game. And with 2 outs, Caitlin Coker standing at first.
Again, another hitter. Coker looking to jump on early in the count. This first pitch swinging. A pitch brought right into the zone. Coker gets her barrel. Just a ground ball right through the middle of the infield. Flannery does a good job trying to get a glove on it, keep it in the infield.
In the dirt and across the plate, it's low for ball 1 to Brooke Depies. And McAuliffe, the Oregon catcher. Depies hitting nearly 400. 2 outs this season. Early opportunity for the Terriers. Driven down the left field line. It's got some pop and just foul. Nearly 200 feet away. 3 home runs this season for Brooke Depies, the starting second baseman. Gave that one a ride for a moment against Sokolsky.
Yeah, showing a little bit of power in Depies. Somebody that really carries a little bit of the load when the top of this lineup doesn't produce. Who can be a leader here in the middle of the lineup.
Tried to get her to chase, and a good take. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. .79 degrees, couple of clouds in the sky, but no threat of inclement weather tonight. And nor this weekend, which is certainly good news. Runner takes off, and the throw down to second is in time, and Kauf fires a strike as Coker is caught stealing for the 5th time this season.
You could not ask for a better throw from Emma Kauf. A perfect strike to second base, getting the 3rd out and getting the 3rd out of the game.
Geico can help cover cars, homes, motorcycles, and even accordions.
Pretty liberating knowing Geico can help insure our car. And with our home insurance, your accordion, too.
We're not the only ones out here taking advantage of Geico.
Smoke him, Edna. You sure showed him.
That's your pickled peppers idea.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico. Geico can help cover cars, homes, motorcycles, and even accordions.
Pretty liberating knowing Geico can help insure our car. And with our home insurance, your accordion, too.
We're not the only ones out here taking advantage of Geico.
Smoke him, Edna. shoot him.
That's your pickled peppers idea.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico. Geico can help cover cars, homes, motorcycles, and even accordions.
Pretty liberating knowing Geico can help insure our car. And with our home insurance, your accordion, too.
We're not the only ones out here taking advantage of Geico.
Smoke him, Edna. You sure shoot him.
That's your pickled peppers idea.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico.
Scoreless top half of the first inning back at Loves Field. BU with one hit. That was it. Oregon Ducks coming up to bat for the first time as we take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Ducks. Brought to you by Capital One. Kai Lushar, Carlson, and Emma Kauf will lead things off. And Lushar, leads the team in batting average, Jenny, and is an absolute menace on the base paths.
She is just such a good leadoff hitter. She is such a hard out. Her on-base percentage just under 500, 481. Gets her barrel out there, and you're right, she is so fast. So you've got to work to keep her off that base path. You got Carlson behind her.
Casey Ricard in the circle, the sophomore Patriot League Pitcher of the Year this campaign, and the ERA is minuscule. The numbers are beyond impressive, 27-3 on the season, and the first pitch stays high for ball one to Lushar.
Ricard is such a competitor in the circle. Obviously one of the main contributors of that nation-leading ERA. You put a competitor like that in the circle, you give a team a chance to win every single game. And just a sophomore.
Yeah, we talked with her yesterday extensively with the BU program, and head coach Ashley Waters. High energy team, a team that feels like it has something to prove. Slap to third and a quick grab by Coker. A collision at first. It all results in out number one. Coker had about a half second to make that play, and she did it.
You know, if you're Coker and you get this ground ball with a high hop, you have to make a good quick throw. This one kind of thrown across the runner lane. Lushar runs right into Boaz there at first base as she goes to make the throw.
Ariel Carlson. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark, or excuse me, Caitlin Coker. A lot of Caitlin Clark headlines the last couple of days.
I've been reading them too. I'm with you.
The headlines in general in the last couple of days across the sports landscape. Carlson backs out, evens a count at a ball and a strike. What were your nerves like in your march to a national championship in 2005 at Michigan when you're just getting started and just settling into postseason play?
I mean, that first pitch, that first inning is, I don't care where you're at, what you're doing, what you're expected to do, whether it's your first time in a regional or whether you're Oklahoma and a three-time national champion looking to four-peat. You are nervous in that first inning. You need to kind of just take a deep breath and let it go. And once you get through that first inning, then you can go.
So it's like an out-of-body experience to start, I would think.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose everybody's is different. For me, it was like you just kind of need to get through it, and then you're done. The speed of the game feels fast. I feel like your heart beats fast.
I think it's like that in broadcasting, too, when you just start. Game one of the regional, you're coming on camera, talking about all these teams, right?
100%. It's probably like that with anything in life, I would imagine.
Carlson works the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 366 on the campaign. Served to right center field. Kelleher not able to catch up to it, and a hard collision off the wall. She appears to be okay. A 1-out double off the bat of Ariel Carlson, and the Ducks are in business. 14th double of the season. And Lauren Kelleher out in center field took a tumble.
Well, and you know that Carlson can barrel up a ball. That's just what she does here. She just gets this ball and delivers it right off this wall. Just a great extension of her bat. Good attempt by Kelleher to go after that ball. But that's the danger that Carlson is at the plate. Even if it doesn't go over the fence, just her ability to deliver it out into that outfield. Why it's so important to get Luchar off that base path. I mean, with the speed that Luchar has, like you mentioned, even at first base, that is a scoreable ability from Luchar at first base on a double. So you want to get her out. Now Carlson in scoring position.
And McAuliffe, the catcher, sends that one fair territory. Retrieved by Boaz for out number 2. That'll go 3 unassisted. Advancing to third will be Carlson in the process.
Casey Ricard does a good job getting that second out. She's going to throw low to mid 60s. She's kind of an east, west, and up. Great control, pinpoint control. Her ability to just hit her spots, right side, left side of the plate, and then go up in that zone. She does not miss middle very often. Does not miss low very often. She does have a changeup as well. Does not throw it very often, but when she does, it tends to go low in the zone.
Popped up, shallow left field, retreating Ronson. She'll give way to Kate Pryor in left field for the third and final out. The one out double, stranded at third, scoreless through 1.
Fridays. It's almost like whoever named the best day of the week was trying to tell us to celebrate it with fries.
All gets underway beginning at the end of this month. We've got a lot of softball between now and then to get you there to crown a national champion. Of course, OU here in Norman has won the last 3. Before then, Jenny, UCLA, Florida State, Boomer again before Florida back in 2015.
Yeah, you got some good teams there, and obviously the winner of this region will play in the Super Regional of the Florida State Regional. So
that's spicy.
Yeah, it is spicy. I mean, Florida State is a team that has been in the World Series a lot. So you're looking at 2 teams that one of them, if they both make it out, seeded teams, we might not see in the World Series.
Brooke Depies back in the box after Kauf threw out Caitlin Coker, trying to steal second at the end of the first inning. So she'll get another opportunity to take a look at Sokolsky in the circle, the sophomore from Redwood City, California. BU does have a presence out west when you take a look at this roster. Depies batting .373 this year. A lot of talent on the West Coast. Sinicki again, her third putout. Fun conversation yesterday with Ashley Waters, year number 9, leading the Boston University program. And, you know, she joked with us, they've been on the road the last couple of years, and teams would ask, are you Boston College? Are you Boston University? And, of course, they've had to correct a lot of those questions. But, yeah, it's BU. They're located in Beantown, a part of the Patriot League. And she is building a tradition there with this program. When you look at all the regular season championships and the great work she's done, high energy head coach.
Absolutely high energy, and I love it. To me, that's how I judge coaches, is would I play for them or would I not? And I love her. I would play for her in a second. She fired me up. I get why her team plays well.
Lizzie Avery, the batter. Graduate student, also from California, Bishop O'Dowd High School. And one of 8 seniors to start in this game, the first game of the Norman Regional. That one tap foul. Another All-Patriot League first-team performer. When you win your conference and you don't lose a game in league play, and you've got 52 wins on the season, BU is 52-4-1. I mean, they literally haven't lost a game in well over a month. So you mentioned used to winning. Absolutely they are. Lifted to right field, retreating, and now coming up in a basket grab by Wong. for the second out. No, Val Wong took a couple of steps backwards and then marched forward to make that grab.
And Wong did a good job just hustling in. She was playing pretty deep on this ball. The first one in the air, Sokolsky likes that one too.
Allie Boas, the hitter, 2 quick outs here in the top of the second inning.
Good rise ball there from Sokolsky. She's been keeping her ball pretty low. BU's been hitting a lot of ground balls. Topping the ball a lot.
Yeah, I've written down 6-3 in my scorebook a bunch of times already.
Yep.
That's not where you want to hit it, by the way, with the co-defensive player of the year in the Pac-12 and Paige Sinicki. Her legendary status has only grown when you talk to the team about what it's like in practice dealing with Paige. An electric player over at short.
And to your point, a lot of 6-3, a lot of ground balls up the middle. And you see a pop fly to right field and then a couple rise balls here from Sokolsky, just kind of here at the bottom of this lineup as she nears the bottom, going at these hitters with her rise ball.
Boaz also excels in the circle. Rancho Bernardo High School. Those numbers only tell part of her story and what she means to head coach Ashley Waters. Boaz right back to the circle. Sokolsky. And a 1-2-3 top of the second. Still scoreless. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the second inning. The Oregon Ducks continuing to play for one of their star outfielders, Hannah Delgado, who suffered a season-ending neck injury back on April 12th, and that was at Arizona. She was recognized and honored on Oregon Senior Day. Some 9 days later, she broke her neck in that injury, crashing into the wall. She received a ceremonial final start in Eugene. An outstanding 4-year career, an inspiration for head coach Missy Lombardi, officially concluding, but an inspiration. And everybody we've talked to associated with the Ducks program this week, Jenny, has just reiterated that fact to us in so many different ways. Hey, we don't like the fact that it took an injury like this to make us understand what all of this means, but it did happen. We recognize it. She's got our back and we've got hers.
Yeah, and I love that story. I think, you know, part of it too, Hannah Delgado in that story with Oregon has transcended just beyond the Oregon Ducks. I think it's something that nationally people have paid attention to, but just really within their program, that story of, you know, not making excuses and realizing, hey, you know, Hannah would give anything to have a bad day on the field. So take your bad day and make the best of it.
Flannery pops it up the center field. Kelleher underneath for the first out. And you see her wearing that neck brace. That is something that she will have to continue to wear for the foreseeable future. And, you know, not easy, obviously, to navigate and move around, but boy, not a dry eye in the house in Eugene on Senior Day when she received that ceremonial start and quickly exited the playing field after it was announced that that would be her final game there. Val Wong digs in the box. Senior from Sacramento. Isn't that what May is all about? These seniors, one last go around to try to make it to OKC.
Yeah, and this is a region that is senior full, and certainly a regional to me that 100% has been a group of 4 teams that has said multiple times, we are playing for our seniors, we are playing for each other. Boston University 9 seniors, Cleveland State 6, Oregon 9 seniors, Oklahoma 10.
You could feel the emotion yesterday talking to these teams, all 4. Three balls and a strike to Wong. Ashley Waters gave us a great quote with her team. She said, if I could keep this team forever, head coach at BU, I would. just grabbed the inside corner. So Ricard battles back. 3-2. Only hit allowed by Casey Ricard so far. The one-out double off the bat of Carlson until now, and that's a home run. Val Wong, 7th long ball of this season, and the Ducks strike first in Norman.
Val Wong, what a hit. She got all of this, just sends this curveball to the opposite side of the field. Just an outstanding long shot over the fence. This is a pitcher that has only given up 11 home runs on the season in Ricard. Outstanding hit by Val Wong to put the team up. Again, this is a pitcher in Ricard that pinpoints her control. Curveball is going to go to the outside corner. Screwball is going to go to the inside corner. Rise ball is going to go up. So if you pick your pitch, you know that pitch is going to go to that spot. So Val Wong sat on that outside corner and drove that pitch to the opposite side of the field. If you're Oregon, that's how you hit a pitcher that has good control. I'm not saying that a good controlled pitcher is easy to hit by any means, but when you have a pitcher that has good control, it's easier to sit on a pitch and wait to drive it. So to me, if I'm this Oregon Ducks team, I'm going to pick one side of the plate, lay off the rise ball, and look to drive that pitch. You know you're going to see at least one side of the pitch on either side. If I'm Ricard, I'm going to have to start throwing off speeds to me to start mixing my pitches.
And you would imagine that is what Ashley Waters is telling her ace right-hander in the circle there seconds ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to look a little bit different. I think you got to change it up, and no doubt, I mean, Ricard's a great pitcher. She spins the ball well. Her rise ball can jump. So this is somebody that is super competitive in this circle. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she knows how to win. You don't get the nation-leading ERA as a staff by being predictable by any means.
2 straight out of the zone after giving up the home run. A cue shot to short, and that throw is errant towards the BU dugout. Ronson was wide right of Boaz at first.
Yeah, and resilience after a home run is something that you absolutely have to do. This is a great pitch. Really sawed off at the handle of Humphreys. Got her on a good screwball on the inside corner, and you've got to make this play if you're Ronson.
E6.
Really get an out here.
Runner goes, throw to second is not in time. Humphreys, her 9th stolen base of the season in 12 attempts. She gets aboard on the E6, and that brings up Taya Bird. Now the Ducks, they're known for their team speed. They paced the Pac-12 in stolen bases this season. 86 as a team. On the outside corner.
Everything about that situation, BU knew that Humphreys was going to steal on it, and even with her speed, she still was in safely.
And that last pitch just out of the zone, the 2-0. Fly ball deep left field. This one has some zest, and that one is gone. A 2-run jack by Taya Bird, her 2nd of the season. And just like that, it is 3-0 Oregon.
And that's why playing clean is so important. You get that out, that's a 1-run home run instead of a 2-run home run. This a pitch on the inside corner again. Taya Bird picking a side of the plate and looking to drive it. A screwball on the inside corner. She just turns beautifully on this pitch, sends it to the left side of the field, puts her team up 2 more runs.
Now the Ducks Twins, robust 26-9. They are already there, and Ashley Waters already will make a pitching change in the circle for BU. Well, that happened quickly.
Quickly. You're chasing the lead pitcher of this BU staff in the 2nd inning. You're the Ducks. That's exactly what you wanted to do here in this regional.
Conversation taking place in the dugout. We'll tell you about the new BU pitcher after this.
Geico can help when you're locked out with their easy app and 24/7 help.
Dad, you don't have to make this so tough on yourself. Geico can help us get into our locked car. See?
Yeah, but where's the fun of that? Maybe I'm just nostalgic for the good old days. Before we had Geico's great coverage and 24/7 help.
Home runs here in the second, chasing Casey Ricard moments ago and yielding just 11 long balls this season, 2 already, as she has given way to Lizzie Avery in the circle. For the BU Terriers, Paige Sinicki, the batter, batting ninth as you take a look at Avery and what she's done this campaign.
Again, this is a BU staff that all 3 of these pitchers work well together. She was an All-Patriot League first team. And no doubt all 3 of these pitchers in this staff expected to help each other. I think still to this point, to me, it surprised a little bit that Ricard pulled as early as she was, or chased from the game, I should say, as early as she was. Credit to the Oregon Ducks for really capitalizing early in this game.
Yeah, it was a 13-pitch first inning for Casey Ricard. Fly ball by Flannery to center field to start this frame. And then here comes Wong and Bird. Big cut by Sinicki.
Well, and this is how you get in a game and make a statement when your team needs an out to really put some momentum on your side. A great curveball here as it spins off the corner of the plate. Sinicki goes chasing.
Kylie Shar back to the top of the order. 0-1. Kai grew up in Carson City, Nevada. He's paced the Ducks at batting average this season. First team all Pac-12. Slaps it over to short. Ronson up with it, cannot make the play. It had to be a quick turn and toss. Could not do it in the first hit for Kai Luchar here in Norman.
And the name of Luchar's game is to bounce that ball high. As soon as that ball bounced and got some height on it, forget about it. Smart decision by Ronson. Not even tempt that throw. But that's what makes Luchar so good.
Here's Carlson, now a 7-game hitting streak after that first inning double. We showed you the graphic in our open. Oregon resume is pretty strong. They won 5 out of 8 Pac-12 series. Think about the Pac-12 in its final year. Always outstanding softball being played. That one just foul. It probably didn't have the kind of tournament they had hoped for in that loss to Utah, a team that traveled to Duke today in the Durham Regional and fell to South Carolina by a score of 2-1. And so you wonder, just based off last year's postseason, what happened to the Pac-12 tournament if they are laser focused, and the answer appears to be an early yes. Carlson with her second double of the game, and that'll drive in the 4th run for the Ducks. Racing around was Luchar in Oregon, playing in Oregon softball to start this Norman Regional.
Well, and this just another solid hit from Carlson, sending an outside pitch into the gap again. Another great hit from Carlson. We knew she had to be on this game to really make an impact. So far, so good. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. And this time, Luchar on base, and with the speed that she has, able to get all the way around and score.
Second AB for Emma Kauf. That last run, the unearned run after the E6 earlier in this inning. Ducks just happy to put up a crooked number and perhaps a statement frame early for the team out of the Pac-12. It's headed to the Big Ten. Sharply on 2 hops to Depiez at second, and she recovers in time after knocking it down.
I get to love. Like your love, a diamond that never stops. It's the best thing that I'll ever do. Unstoppable love, exclusively at Kay.
Oregon leading Boston University 4-0. There is the head coach of the Ducks, Missy Lombardi, her 6th season in Eugene. And of course, here in Mayhem, the stories tend to write themselves this time of year. The former Oklahoma assistant returning to Norman, really for the first time since she left OU, and head coach Patty Gasso back in 2018 to head out west. Much to talk about this weekend on that front, but what a great start by her team so far in game 1 in Norman. 7, 8, and 9 will lead things off for BU. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott, and talking with Coach Lombardi this week, reading and listening to what she had to say in the press before returning home. Those were the words that she used with us yesterday. An interesting dynamic and kind of an undercurrent of what to expect this weekend between her and Patty Gasso, the head coach at OU.
Yeah, a lot of history between the two of them, and certainly a friendship, and somebody who hasn't been back to campus, Melissa Lombardi, since she left.
Kind of fitting how, pictures.
I was going to say, kind of fitting how sports has brought them back in this scenario, a chance to compete.
And McAuliffe trots out to talk with Elise Sokolsky in the circle for a minute. 3-0 the count. Leadoff hitter Lauren Nett. If you're Boston University, what is the approach after Oregon just put up that 4 spot and still a lot of game left to be played here?
I mean, I think simply you don't press. That's the first start of it. It's very clear to me in the first couple innings here that they were attacking early on in the count. They were looking to lay off the up pitch, which is obviously what you want to do against Sokolsky, is look down, right? Don't go chasing. And then look to attack early on in the count and drive a pitch, but they're grounding out, right? So your second time through this lineup, as they get through it, here they're at the bottom of the lineup, is look to drive those pitches a little bit more instead of top them.
Senior from St. Paul, Minnesota, after the 4-pitch walk was issued to Lauren Nett. Cade Pryor takes another pitch out of the zone, 264 this year. And all of a sudden, Sokolsky has struggled to find her rhythm that we've seen in the first 2 innings. 4-0 Ducks. There's a strike.
As I say, a little bit of a longer inning, a little bit of a lead, and I think sometimes between the ears as a pitcher, you cannot, relax. You still have to maintain that 0-0 ball game kind of mentality. You've got to throw your best game. You've also got to make sure that if you have a longer inning, go throw a couple in the bullpen if you need to.
So
sure you're ready.
Your time in Ann Arbor. Long inning, Mason Blue put up 5 runs. You're waiting. It was a thing. Like, that was something that you had to work through maybe early in your career before winning the national title?
Well, listen, I learned my lesson the hard way and did not do that, and gave up hits. And then ultimately learned that maybe in long innings you had to get back out there, make sure your arm was loose, and then, you know, from the mentality standpoint, between the ears, it is a real thing. You can't change what you're thinking between the ears. You absolutely always have to maintain that mindset of, it's a close game, it's a 0-0 ball game, I've got to pitch tight, I've got to make sure that I don't give up anything. Good pick.
Bird over at third records the out. Advancing to second is Lauren Nett. It was a 3-1 count on that swing, and with 1 away, BU does have a runner in scoring position for the first time this evening. Althea Bird has enjoyed a phenomenal start here in Norman with that home run moments ago, and then the outstanding play, the hot corner there.
Productive out there, though, by Cade Pryor.
Audrey Sellers, freshman catcher, takes low. Laverne, California. Excuse me, the graduate student. One of those seniors. Ball and a strike. 31 pitches into this game for Sokolsky. And now Missy Lombardi stroll halfway out towards the circle and look back towards her dugout, and let's see.
Looks like Sokolsky may be having a little bit of an issue with her hand, maybe slipping a little bit on the ball.
Morgan Scott getting loose. Morgan Scott, the transfer from UNC Greensboro, two-time SoCon Pitcher of the Year in that league, and you were able to identify that, Jenny. And Elise talking with her head coach right now about the situation. Well, certainly with a 4-run lead, you don't want to do anything to let BU kind of chip away at this deficit. Now, certainly an exciting weekend of softball action in the postseason. Don't miss a minute. The NCAA Softball Regionals will take you to the best live action on the 7 Innings live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Chris, Aaron, Tori having a great time today and was watching some of their coverage with everything underway earlier this afternoon. Sokolsky is going to remain in the circle for now. Out of the zone was uncommon in the first 2 frames. A different story so far here. And driven sharply into foul territory off the netting. Sellers with some pop.
Just a long foul ball if you're Sokolsky there, but for Sellers, getting a good piece of that, turning on it well. When you throw that inside pitch, if you keep it inside enough, it doesn't matter how well batter barrels it up, as long as it stays foul, as long as it's inside enough that they can't put it fair.
Off speed and out of the zone upstairs, and Sellers backs out for a moment. 2 balls and 2 strikes. She caught every pitch behind home plate last year for the Terriers, all 62 games. Well, that was an incredible mark. See that kind of consistency as a catcher. In the dirt, swing and miss, and the strikeout official, the throw down to first, 2 away, with net now remaining at second.
And the second changeup in a row, the first one high, but she brings in a second changeup here, lower in the zone, gets Sellers to really go chasing. Again, the changeup over 20% of the time thrown by Sokolsky. Part of her bread and butter.
Big moment for Kelleher. Fouls it back. Saw 1 pitch in her first AB. Grounded out to short.
And the second time through the lineup here. This is where you make your adjustments, knowing that off speed's going to come through. It's going to stay lower in that zone. Really look to drive these pitches. Make your adjustments. Stay in your legs.
Sharply, Sinicki corrals it over to first. Well, a lot happening. The runner, Laurinette, was going right in front of her. No problem for the Cubs. Ball begins June 10th in Wichita, Kansas. Tune in the ESPN family of networks to watch all 18 games. And, of course, a lot happening in those contests that makes it even more entertaining. We got draft picks, of course, for the Sooners this year. Ellie Maxwell, Hanson, Coleman, Jennings. Plenty of talent in Norman for one of the most talented senior classes we have seen in softball history.
Jocelyn Allo, a little special guest for AUX this year as well. So
It's
we've got
funny.
some AUX and OU royalty.
She was in OKC earlier this week with the Savannah Bananas. Signed a minor league contract. Gotten a couple of hits, and she was being interviewed by the local OKC affiliates, rather. She's like, I don't want to leave. This has been an incredible ride and fun journey for her. One of the reporters afterwards asked her, hey, what was it like when the streak ended? She looked at him. She's like, what streak? Oh, the 71 game streak. She's like, oh, I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, we'll be okay. Just 71 wins in a row that ended last year, still culminating in an OU national championship.
No, she was thinking the streak of fun she's having, because she's had all kinds of fun. All kinds of cool opportunities, and she got her first hit in the Savannah Bananas the other day. And
the Bananas are like a big deal, right? They are entertaining.
They're so fun.
And they wear like the literal banana uniforms, if you've never seen them, the bright yellow.
There's different rules. Yeah, their uniforms are sharp.
2-2 to Alyssa Daniel. 0 for 1. Casey Ricard out. Lizzie Avery in. 4 hops to second. Debbie S. fumbled it initially, and Daniel aboard on the E4.
And we talked about the importance of just having to play as clean as you can. This is a team that has the highest winning percentage in the nation, and they don't do it by making errors. This is a team that maybe has a little bit of nerves right now. Really looking to have to clean it up here. Her second error so far this game. .985 fielding percentage in the conference. 981 overall going into this season, or going into this regional.
Flannery takes upstairs. Val Wong in the on-deck circle hit her 7th home run to start the Oregon scoring in the 2nd inning today. So Daniel at first, and now 3-0 the count. Winner of this game gets the winner of Oklahoma and Cleveland State. Game set for a 8 o'clock Eastern first pitch, 7 local. There's a strike to Flannery. If Oregon holds on here, there'll be a lot of chatter going into tomorrow potentially. And now a walk issued to Flannery. So runners at first and second. Ducks already with 5 hits. Now first walk issued by BU pitching.
And Avery's ball is primarily a drop ball that she likes to throw. She can bring that curveball in for a strike. But what makes her successful is that heavy drop ball that she brings down. She gets ground balls. Part of the reason that you have to imagine that Coach Waters chose to bring her into this game was that she had that downward spin, that she got ground balls, especially with Oregon. 2 home runs, that they were elevating the ball, looking to keep the ball in the park. But because of that, you tend to spin the ball out of the zone a little bit more. Issuing her first walk here.
Pitch runner at second is Reagan Legg. Flannery at first, and a chance for the Ducks to do some serious damage. Already leading 4-0. Batted back to Avery, and the sacrifice goes. Put 2 runners in scoring position for Oregon. It'll be 1-3 as Val Wong, who hit a home run earlier, a productive out in the next inning.
I love it when you take your home run hitter and you put them in a position to do a productive out too. You know that they have power, but at the same time, you're in a position to put 2 runners in scoring position. Use that opportunity.
I'm just curious to get your take on that, because Wong has plenty of power. Oregon already out to a 4-0 lead. That certainly factors in. 2 more would be huge. Now you get at least 2 ABs to try to score those 2 runs.
I guess to me, it seems that in postseason, you want to capitalize on any opportunity to put runners in scoring position. I've seen so many times where you rely on a bat and you don't put runners in scoring position and it hurts you. So to me, if you have an out to give and you can put 2 in scoring position, that would be how I would coach. That would be what I would do. Plus you've got Taya Bird behind Humphreys here that also hit a home run. So it's not like you don't have power coming up behind Wong.
Humphreys works a 3-1 count. It's the first time since April 9th BU's had a game with multiple errors. It's a stretch of 22 consecutive contests. We've seen one at short, one at second, and now the Ducks have them loaded. The second walk of the frame issued by Avery.
And that pitch just missing too far on the outside corner too. Curveball. Again, I mentioned
Taya Bird, not known for her home run ability, in her second of the season, out to left field, and that was a 2-run shot. And now she has driven in 11 on the year. Would love to make it 12, 13, maybe even one more than that with a big swing. BU has only recorded 1 out so far here in the bottom of the third.
Bases loaded on 3 free passes here. Well, an error and 2 free passes, but an error that should have resulted in an out. In a situation where BU has kind of put themselves in a bases loaded situation with some power at the plate.
The 2-0 lifted to right field. On the run is net in fair territory. Runner will try to tag from third. The throw not in time, and it was just above leg as she slid in safely at home plate. So the sac fly for Bird. She's driven in 3 so far in this game for the Ducks, and that makes it 5-0.
It's a great attempt at this throw. See the tag on the foot.
Challenging that ruling. The previous play is under further review.
See the challenge here come in. I saw it in real time. I thought that tag on the foot maybe made this play a little bit closer. Compelling. I would wager to bet that there is a potential that she could be out. Here's another angle here. This might be the best one right here. See that hand coming in. I think that the right shoulder is going to cover the hand on that one. Really great job by Sellers, though, to reach back and put that tag on and grab the closest part of Daniel that she could find in that toe. This is a tough one for the umpires.
BU challenging.
I think smart job by Coach Waters, to challenge this one, though.
And replay back in Pittsburgh, taking a look as we speak. 5-0 our score as it stands now. A big moment here. If that run was negated, it's the second out. It goes back to 4-0, and both runners also retreat. Actually, they would be allowed to maintain second and third, and let's see.
After review, the call on the field is changed. The runner's out. That's Boston's first challenge of the game.
That last shot where it really felt like the throw was there before the hand slid across home plate. The question was it indisputable? Did you know beyond a shadow of a doubt? And I would think the answer is yes, and I would agree with that call.
I'm going to say absolutely well done there.
That originally the umpiring crew did not see, and that certainly gives your team a chance to gain some momentum, right?
Yeah, simple as that. I mean, we just got to obviously keep them from scoring, and we got to do a better job, obviously, in the circle and on defense to prevent them to putting up more runs and give us a shot in this game.
Coach, your pitching staff leads the nation in the country in ERA. Obviously, Ricard pulled from the game a little bit early, but talk about your decision to go with Lizzie Avery in relief here.
I think Allie B is obviously a really talented lefty, and I'd like to save her if, this goes awry and we have to face Oregon again. So I don't think you'll be seeing AB right now, but I think Lizzie can manage this and handle it, and she just needs to execute.
Coach, best of luck rest of the way. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Coach Waters saying hi to mom and dad here in this Norman Regional. Game number 1, 4-0 our score. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott, and of course the double play with the out recorded in right field and the incredible toss back home. The tag applied by Audrey Sellers. Your experience, Jenny, how can that generate momentum for a team that maybe needs to be a little bit more patient at the plate as we get deeper into this game?
I think, to me, that's one of those moments where the wheels could have come off, right? You got yourself in a situation to load bases. You got yourself out of a situation with a heck of a throw and a throw out. Let that be something that does build momentum, that brings your adrenaline back to where you need to be. Reset yourself at the plate and really make something happen, right? Find a way to do what you need to at the plate. And to me, this is your chance to really make it happen. It's the second time through the lineup. You make your adjustments at the plate.
Kayla Ronson back up the middle, off the back foot, not in time. And Kayla Ronson, former Patriot Player of the Year, aboard with her first hit of the game and the second so far for BU.
Kayla Ronson thinking about maybe taking 2 here. This is something that BU looks to do. They try to be aggressive. This is a good hit up the middle. Good range by Flannery at second base. But take a look at Ronson paying attention to where the ball is, what's happening, seeing that maybe Oregon is not paying attention, trying to catch them and steal another base. Credit to the Ducks, though, keeping their head on a swivel.
Second straight inning, BU has had leadoff batter aboard. It was a walk issued to Lauren Nett in the 3rd. And Sokolsky settles in low. It's 2-0.
Better at bat there by Ronson, by the way, though. First a ground out, making her adjustments and driving it back middle on her second at bat.
Up the middle, sharply to Sinicki. Can they turn 2? The answer is yes. The electrifying shortstop, Paige Sinicki, has done it all today defensively.
You cannot hit it to Paige Sinicki. We've seen her do way too much. That 6-3, that ground ball to Paige Sinicki, especially with a runner on base, way too easy for her to turn a double play. She is way too good, makes that look way too easy.
That was my thought. The 14th double play turn by the Ducks this year. That'll halt that scoring threat in its tracks.
I mean, you get a runner on base to a team that has been hitting to Paige Sinicki all day long. You almost take a deep breath and you're like, good. They'll hit it to Paige Sinicki and she'll just double them off. I mean, that's kind of how they've been hitting. If I'm Sokolsky, that's exactly what I'm thinking in this scenario. I wouldn't be stressed at all.
Well, we asked Ariel Carlson yesterday, hey, what's it like in practice with Paige? And she goes, you wouldn't believe the plays that she's made when nobody's watching. I mean, she makes them when the cameras are on. But in practice, it has been SportsCenter top 10 after SportsCenter top 10. Flannery catches the pop-up. For Elise Sokolsky, what have you seen from her?
I just like how she's changing speeds. I love how she's working ahead and allowing her defense to work behind her.
Coach, your offense had a solid second inning and chased the starting pitcher from the game quickly, but you've got a new pitcher in the circle in Lizzie Avery. How do you attack her?
I think the same thing, just being patient and getting on time, swinging at good pitches, and just continue to do what we're doing right now.
Coach, best of luck rest of the way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're number 6 in Eugene, her 27th season as a collegiate head coach. The former Oklahoma catcher coming home this weekend for the Norman Regional. Talking with her a little bit during the break, I said, is it hot down there? She said, no, it feels great. I said, especially with a 4-0 lead. And I mean, in reality, it's 78 degrees, a slight breeze, no threat of rain. It is exactly what you would hope for in this showcase of this incredible facility, Loves Field. 9-1-2 will lead things off for the Ducks. Sinicki bunts it foul. Which even makes a foul bunt exciting, hustling down the line at first. Loves Field 77 days old. Open March 1st. And really the pinnacle of all softball facilities. You can seat around 4,200 fans. And our expectation this weekend, Jenny, it is going to be loud.
This is the kind of field to me that if you are a softball fan or you are going to play softball somewhere, you want every softball field like this to look like this at some point.
Sinicki, the short, Ronson up with it quickly and not in time. Infield single, the starting shortstop, Paige Sinicki.
Sinicki's, you know, we talk about her defense, but
speed.
Yeah, she's been coming through offensively for Oregon as of late, and in that 9 spot, how huge to really turn the lineup over. And hey, you can't say enough about Lashar and Carlson at the top of the lineup, but to have that 9 spot be strong for you. Just another runner on base for them.
No question. It's back to the top of the order. Sinicki with 5 assists already today. That infield single. Lashar is 1 for 2. She has many stories to tell from her upbringing in Carson City, Nevada. Parents both competed in professional rodeo. Runner goes, throw to second. Boy, it was quick, but not in time. And Sinicki now perfect in the stolen base department this year. That continues. 13 for 13. And got some dirt in the eye for a moment. Appears to be fine.
And a protective swing through here from Kai Lashar. Sinicki comes through, easily slides in again, knowing that this team will steal. Sinicki, one of them. Looks like she gets a little dirt in her eyes.
Jenny, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that professional rodeo existed. Just to bring it back full circle. I mean, I knew that there was like a next level. But apparently, growing up, there's a lot of fun had in the Lashar household. Here's a strike.
If there's one thing I did not expect to have on my bingo card in a regional, softball regional, was my parents were professional rodeo stars.
And it's not just mom or it's not just dad, it's both.
Mom and dad.
It's incredible. Slap to second. Up with it quickly, Debbie S. And now Oregon with runners at the corners. The second hit of this game for Kai Lashar. Yeah, and that's the Lashar sisters. Kedri also a member of the Oregon Ducks softball program. And never a dull moment growing up in Carson City with all that was happening with Mom Judy and Dad Steve. Runners at the corners. Oregon threatening once again already. 4-0 lead. Could have been 5. An outstanding throw in right field by Lauren Nett. Close things down with a double play in the 3rd.
Speed on the corner with no outs.
Carlson pops it a mile high in the air, battling the sunshine. Who wants in the left fielder? Kate Pryor does. Not deep enough to score the runner, but tagging from first to second will be Lashar. No, that didn't even give us a moment to talk about Ariel Carlson and the fact that she now has 15 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and 15 doubles this season. Is the only player in Division I that can claim those numbers. Emma Kauf, 0 for 2, takes low and away.
That kind of danger at the plate, that is a huge win in a lot of ways. Not only did you get Carlson out, but you kept a run from scoring. You were in a first and third situation that eventually you'd assume Luchar would be stealing. You not only allowed them to get in scoring position, but they got in scoring position and you got an out from it without a run scoring. At some point you would assume they would have gotten in scoring position and you probably wouldn't have gotten an out. So kind of a win for BU in that situation.
Infield is in, 2 balls and a strike to Calf. Winner of this game gets the winner between Oklahoma and Cleveland State tonight. Vikings were the Horizon League champions. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one caroms off the netting. One thing we can say with certainty, Cleveland State and Boston University, they had an air about both of their programs this week coming into Norman. We're happy to be here. We want to make some noise. A quiet confidence, but also understanding we get the fact that we are the underdogs. Hammered foul. Home run distance. But I think both you and I, Jenny, like the feel for teams and coaches that aren't afraid to put things out there and are excited to be here, and their teams feeding off of those vibes. Avery remains in the circle, comes home, and that ball sent foul.
Yeah, I think Boston University, certainly a team knowing their ability to win, obviously have done it plenty of times this year, knew they had some work to do. They had big goals this year and going deep in the postseason.
Back to the circle, Avery scoops it home, and now a run down with Sinicki between third and home plate. Runner is safe. And some confusion on the base paths. Finally an out recorded at third. Sliding home safely is Sinicki, and a lot happening there as another run scores for the Ducks.
So this really, really well executed by Avery to toss at home. Sinicki goes back to third. If this was held on to, could have resulted in not having a run score, but as it gets away at second base, Sinicki is able to score. Great job by the Ducks to really create havoc on that base path.
You can feel it up here with what Sinicki was doing, and then Luchar jetting around second.
I felt like as I was watching them, my grip, my knuckles were getting tighter and tighter. I just kept watching them. What's going to happen?
So it's 5-0 Ducks, and that is certainly a way to get another run across. Oregon will take it. 2 outs now in the inning. Calf standing at first. And a gentle pop-up to third base. Caitlin Coker has it. And the side is retired.
Backed by an expert. Right in your neighborhood.
Thanks so much.
Walgreens.
Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. Jenny, we go back to the second inning.
Yeah, just a couple big home runs. The first one from Valerie Wong, putting the first run on the board, and then Taya Bird putting the second one on a 2-run shot after KK Humphreys gets on with an error.
5-0 Ducks. Roy Philpott, Jenny Ritter here at the Norman Regional. Oregon in its final season in the Pac-12 has pounded out 7 hits. Boston University with just 2. And I do want to go back to Emma Calf's AB, where we had the rundown between third and home. Ultimately led Paige Sinicki touch home plate for the 5th run of the game. Avery leads things off. Sokolsky remains in the circle. Lizzie 0 for 1. Flight out to right field in her first plate appearance. Our trusted statistician here in the booth tonight, Ken Dunlap, who will be with us all week long, all weekend long, assures me that the following scenario is now set in stone. On that run that scored, the put out, if you're scoring at home, and we know that you are, went 1-2-5, 8-5. Involved an error by the third baseman, E5. And at the end of the day, it resulted in the run that was scored. And this is how it looked essentially in real time. Right back to the circle. Avery comes up with it to the catcher. Over to third. In the process, Luschar's going to be called out at second. Goes 1-2-5-8-5. The run counts. Fielder's choice put Kauf over at first. Trust me when I tell you I am absolutely sure that that's how that play unfolded.
I believe you. I saw it.
Avery strikes out for out number 1 for Boston University. Loser of this game gets the loser of Cleveland State and Oklahoma tonight. Sharply fouled down the third baseline. What have you seen so far from Elise Sokolsky in making this start and kind of battling through some things? It feels like in the circle she has given Missy Lombardi literally everything she could possibly ask for to open a regional.
Well, Sokolsky's showing control. She's showing absolute control, and that's what she needs to do in the circle. Beautiful changeup right there, and I think that's one thing that she has had control of all day long, was her ability to be able to mix speeds, and BU hasn't really had an answer for that yet. And beyond that, when BU has hit the ball, she's had tremendous defense behind her.
Yeah, Boaz way out in front of that changeup that you referenced. Stays alive here. It's 1-2.
I mean, BU's seen multiple changeups per at bat, which is kind of the MO of Sokolsky. But if you know that, you've got to sit change or look for the hard stuff. But don't go chasing that changeup if you're looking for the hard stuff. And right now you're seeing BU kind of mix both. That's why you saw back-to-back Ks there from Sokolsky.
Second and third of the game.
Here, this is the fast stuff. This is the screwball that kind of cuts in and really just gets Boaz chasing it because she saw 2 changeups right before it. It's a good mix of pitches.
Boy, love that shot at the grip on the screwball.
And good spin as it kind of curls off the outside part of the hand, just imparts spin that starts on the plate and kind of cuts more towards the knees of the batter.
Smokey Ed's indicating a timing violation on the pitcher. It results in a ball. And 1-0 the count to Lauren Nett. It's softly over to third. And in plenty of time, a 1-2-3 frame for Elise Sokolsky. And the Duck.
Yep, all 3 on us. Only at Verizon.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals, presented by Capital One. Beautiful afternoon. Into the evening we go, awaiting Cleveland State and OU as the Sooners try get back to Oklahoma City and claim their 4th consecutive national championship. That game coming up as soon as we are done here with our first game over on ESPNU. And of course, a full slate tomorrow back at Love's Field. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott, and the Ducks with a 5-run advantage here in the bottom of the 5th inning would love to play 3 and go ahead and start thinking about tomorrow and what could be an incredible atmosphere against Oklahoma under the glove of Depies into center field. And Katie Flannery is aboard. All 4 innings prior to this one, the Ducks have had a runner in scoring position. Flannery has reached now for the 2nd time, and here comes Val Wong. The solo blast in her first AB. That came in the 2nd. was called upon in the next frame, Jenny, to execute the sacrifice, which she did, putting 2 Ducks in scoring position in the process.
I think when you have a lineup like this, you do what you have to. You get runners on base, you put them in scoring position. In this situation, though, 5-run lead to me, not worth putting a runner in scoring position. You use the bat of Wong. Let her drive something here.
8 hits so far for the Ducks, make it 9. Driven into left field. And now in every frame, the Ducks have had a runner in scoring position. Again, this time coming with no outs.
And Wong has just driven this pitch well, something that was a little bit elevated, but turns on it beautifully. Just drives it through the 5-6 hole. Wong seeing the ball well.
Chance for the Ducks to end this early. The run rule victory. Tap foul off the bat of KK Humphreys.
As I say, I'm not surprised in this scenario. This was the scenario that Wong was in her previous at bat. 2 runners on with no outs. An opportunity to move 2 runners into scoring position by giving up an out to do so. Productive out. Taya Bird, one of those home runs in the 2nd inning. An opportunity to have 2 in scoring position for her.
Corner infielders crash. Bunted foul once again, 0-2. You can see Love's Field starting to fill up a little bit more in preparation for the defending national champions beginning their postseason march. 8 o'clock Eastern. Our first pitch over on ESPNU.
If you're Avery in this situation, you're ahead of the count now on Humphreys. She didn't get the bunt down on the first 2 attempts, now forced to swing away. If you're Avery, you don't have to throw something close to this plate. Try to get her to fish for it. Try to get her to chase.
Up the middle, and that'll sneak through for a base hit, and the Ducks have him loaded. Nobody out. Now, Humphreys started her career at Cal State Fullerton. Has reached now in all 3 plate appearances. That is her first hit of the evening, and the Ducks continue to be in business for now Taya Bird.
And it's just something that the Ducks have done so well. Again, Humphreys looking just to have a productive out, put 2 runners in scoring position. Instead, gets herself a little bit in trouble. Can't get the bunt down, but drives a pitch on 0-2 and gets herself on. Then loads the bases instead of putting 2 on. Has the bases juiced.
Bird 1 for 2. Arguably the biggest hit of this game, a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. That made it 3-0. Oregon has not looked back since. Ducks on the pond everywhere. Second home run of the year, just clearing that left field wall.
She was just looking for that inside pitch. Upper card. Sends it to left field. There's so much scouting from these pictures. You know what to expect. By the time you get to postseason, so much data, so much information. The Ducks just executed beautifully so far throughout this game.
Three and 0.
No room to put her.
There's a strike.
And now a tough situation. You've got solid power hitter. Forced, if you're Avery, to have to bring this ball over the plate to try to get that strike.
There it was.
Gosh, if I'm Bird, I want that one back. That was well over the plate.
A hearty pitch. And now a full count. Bird stays alive, protecting the outer half. Every Duck starter has reached base tonight. 10 hits so far for Oregon. And perhaps an early statement, the first statement to be made, the Norman Regional. Bird over to second on 3 hops. The throw home is Aaron. It gets to the backstop. Here comes the throw back to home plate. It's not in time. 2 more runs scored for the Ducks. And Oregon on the verge of a run rule victory against BU in this opening game in Norman.
And DePius really just trying to go after that lead runner, trying to limit the damage, the runs that cross, knowing his run rule situation is there. You can see the look all over the face of this BU team. The hard part with a team that owns the nation's leading winning percentage, they're not used to losing. It's not a good feeling, and it's hard to be in this situation where you just want to fight back and make some changes. And 4 errors in this game, season high.
So the last 2 runs scoring on the fielder's choice in the E4. You mentioned it, 4 errors for BU. This is a team with 52 victories this year, unbeaten in their last 26 contests, the Patriot League champions. And Oregon has been awfully impressive in dismantling this team, at least in our first game so far.
Yeah, and speed will do that a little bit. I mean, if you're quick, you have to rush if you're defense, and sometimes speed will force you to make errors, but so will nerves, so will expectations. There's a lot of reasons why errors will come into play, but the bottom line is, when you're in postseason, you know, we talked about it, you've got to play your best ball, and if you're not going to show up with your best ball, the other team is. I mean, that's just how postseason is. Teams that play their best ball in the postseason ultimately come out with the dub.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic afternoon for Ashley Waters' team. Ducks are thinking about their 8th run rule victory of the season, with Humphreys at 3rd, Bird at 2nd, and Paige Sinicki, who has had her imprints all over this victory, potentially for Oregon, turns on that one and sends it foul. She really got it started in the right way at shortstop in the first inning. The first 2 batters, Kelleher saw 1 pitch, grounded out to Sinicki at short. Then Ronson saw a couple of more, a couple of 6-3 putouts. That kind of got her and this defense going early.
And the importance of plating these 2 runs, getting this run rule here for the Ducks, letting Sokolsky rest a little bit.
It's meaningful, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, knowing this Duck team with the pitching staff, that they utilize a lot of their arms. To me, Sokolsky's the one that has been the most successful as of late. And I think you want to keep her as fresh as possible, and to give her and let her be as efficient as possible in this game, which she's been. And she's been lights out, really. Save her a couple innings.
Payoff pitch inside. And Sinicki aboard for the 2nd time. Still no one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And 1 more base runner will equate to an Oregon victory. Back to the top of the order in Kai Lushar.
Yeah, the most dangerous part of the lineup here.
Oklahoma, Cleveland State. Winner of that game awaits the winner of this one. Ducks would like to make that known. It will be them right here. And Lushar to left field, not deep enough to plate the runner. And retreating quickly is Humphreys. That is the first out. Well, Pryor came up with it cleanly and delivered quickly back towards home.
Yeah, solid throw from Pryor, too.
Ducks still have him loaded, just one away for Ariel Carlson, who earlier today became the only player in D1 softball to hit more than 15 home runs, steal more than 15 bases, and hit at least 15 doubles. Impressive stats, all Pac-12 player. We watched her yesterday. It sounded different off the bat, and it has looked different off the bat so far in Norman in game one. To right field. And the grab made, net collects, the run scores on the sacrifice fly. And what a start for the Ducks here in the Norman Regional. A run rule victory, 8-0 over Boston University.
That's the team that came into the region yesterday, practice, focused, ready to go, and you saw it today. They came ready to attack, and they did. Attacking the pitches, really driving in the runs, using their speed and creating havoc on the base path. Find a way to play